So welcome back to another video here in Pennsylvania once again. Still back here in my backyard looking for wild edible and medicinal plants. We've done a couple back here already. Celandine, we did some skunk cabbage, and we did some spring beauty. Now I'm looking for another one. There's a lot of it here. I'm looking for some wild garlic. And it is growing all along the trail here. Here's some right here. There's some more there. Clump of it right there. It's all over the place here. So we're gonna dig at least one little bulb up. And here's what it looks like. And it's perfectly okay to dig these up. They're often considered a noxious weed. They're not even native here to Pennsylvania. So yeah, there you go, like a little garlic bulb. So we're gonna clean this off a little bit and then sit down and talk about it. It's edible and even some possibly medicinal qualities to this. Alright, so here you go, the wild garlic. Allium vanille. Of course, allium just refers to the kind of like the onion or the garlic family, and vanille refers to vineyards. So this comes from over in Europe, so this is probably commonly grown, I mean, not deliberately, but often grew in vineyards, so that's probably how it got that name, you know, Latin-wise, as far as scientific names go. But yeah, wild garlic, it gets called a lot of other things. Wild onions, onion grass, crow garlic, all kinds of different names. But we're going to pull the roots off at the bottom, and we don't need to, I'm going to peel a little bit off the outer skin of that, the dirty part. But it is not an onion. There are wild onions, but they look different than this. Wild garlic has round, hollow stems. Wild onions, true wild onions, have flat, solid leaves, unlike the round, hollow ones of wild garlic. So there is a difference. Yeah, they have a smell, because I love that smell. It was always one of the first signs of spring growing up on the farm. I always can mention the farm, but go down the meadow by the creek, even when the rest of the grass was still brown, this would be poking up out of the ground, already green. That'd be that first whiff of something spring-like. Of course, you can just eat the leaves. They're kind of like chives. They have a very oniony and garlic taste. But the bulbs are edible as well, if you're into that kind of stuff. So I don't consider myself to be a huge fan of the onion or the garlic, although I do like to put garlic powder on some of my eggs and stuff like that sometimes, or I like garlic bread pizza. So at times I do, but like just as far as like raw onions go and stuff like that, not a big fan. But for you guys, I will taste some of these things. Because I did just recently in some of my biology classes, we went out looking for edible plants out in the yard and stuff. But so you can, like I said, the leaves are edible like chives, if you're into that. I'll just take a little bite there. Yeah, they definitely have that flavor to them. I have some, where is it? I have some Propel here to wash it all down later with. But yeah, you can chop these up and add flavoring to foods and stuff, the chives. But then there's the bulb itself. These are edible, probably better cooked, but we're gonna take a bite for you. Like I said, there's no harm in it unless you really don't like them. But here we go. Yeah, that's got a strong taste to it. Almost a burning taste, so it's pretty strong. The smaller ones aren't always as strong, but yeah, I mean, if you love that oniony, garlicky taste, you might find this great. But whew, that is strong. But it would season up your food. Like if you had like a bowl of wild edibles and stuff like that, or soup you're making, this would definitely add some flavor to it. There you go, wild garlic. So off camera, I'm gonna be downing some Propel for. But anyway, actually, it is kind of bad. I mean, not bad. Like I said, I'm not really a huge onion person, but wow. All right, so it is definitely edible. Like some of you might like it more than others, depending on your tastes. But I did come across a few medicinal properties for it too, mainly heart health. Some sources indicated that it's good for lowering your blood pressure or your cholesterol levels. I forgot how to spell cholesterol, so I just abbreviated it there. I did come across too some instance where it was used to help increase the flow of milk, like in mammals, for breastfeeding and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. I feel like It would also flavor the milk. I think that's one of the problems with is why it's considered a noxious weed, that if cows get into a patch of it and eat it, it can give the milk a garlicky flavor. But if you're into garlic, you might like that, but for aspects of selling it to people, you wouldn't want your milk to have that kind of a flavor to it. And also too, as I always say in each one of these videos, before you eat wild garlic or harvest it or use it in any way, make sure you do your own research first. Don't just take my word for it, anyone else or anyone else's on YouTube or on the internet or in a book. Do your own research, make sure you're using the right plant and using it correctly. There you go, folks, that is wild garlic. I threw my bulb away out here somewhere. I'll see it laying over there. But yeah, it is edible. You know, if you run out of garlic in your kitchen, you're cooking, hey, just go out to your yard, go out to your garden. It's probably out there. Dig a few up. It's pretty potent stuff, but you could use it or like cut the leaves up like chives. But it's out there. And if you like onions and garlic, you might actually really like it. If you don't, I just leave it out there. All right, folks. But as always, folks, thanks for coming along. Probably gonna look for at least one other plant out here for another episode in this series, but I'll see you later.